What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about some recent updates concerning the new Gordie Howe International Bridge that's connecting Canada in Ontario and the United States in Michigan. So, a while ago, there was actually a lot of drama around this bridge because it made Donald Trump very, very angry that anything good or reasonable was happening for Canada, or that the US wasn't taking advantage of this situation enough or something. But there really hasn't been much news about this ever since. So today, I really want to check out this news update that says, is the US holding up the opening of a new border bridge? This bridge? Because, is that true? Are we the reason why this bridge isn't up and running? Or so, wow. Let's take a look at this.
The mayor of Windsor, Ontario is pushing back against U.S. threats of the new international bridge in his city, saying it should not open until it's right for Canada. The Gordie Howe International Bridge connecting Windsor and Detroit was expected to open this spring, but earlier this year, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to block its opening.
What? Well, for one thing, I was kind of distracted by this picture here, because this is beautiful. This is a really nice bridge. I think Canada funded the entire bridge, if I'm not mistaken, so I guess you guys kind of get credit for that. Or this looks amazing. Did he just say that this was supposed to be operational? What do you say, spring? By now, months ago. Certainly by now, it was supposed to be up and running? Oh my god. And the reason it's not is because of the US side of things. Doing this kind of stuff, for one thing, this bridge is supposed to be what an awesome thing that's happening between our two countries, and it's something that can benefit both of us. And Canada must be so over having to rely on the US or working with us, especially when you have literal examples like this where you guys are doing your damnedest to drag us along to some kind of successful outcome here, and we're just not having it because it's not our way. You're not doing it our way. This isn't good enough for us. It must be so freaking annoying. Can only imagine.
Canada. The Gordie Howe International Bridge connecting Windsor and Detroit was expected to open this spring, but earlier this year, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to block its opening unless Canada, which paid for the project in full, provides various concessions.
Oh my god, that's right. They said a bit about that, months ago when Trump was initially mad at this. He's demanding concessions? Oh my god. No wonder. Maybe Canada is also pushing this off because you just don't want to deal with the headache. Maybe you're pushing this off for 3 more years. When Donald Trump is out of office. I'm not even kidding. Maybe that's just the strategy here. That's so sad. What kind of concessions do we want? This is already a wonderful thing that's going to bring commerce and travel, tourism, and money into the US. We're benefiting from this, and we didn't have to invest anything in it. Canada paid the total upfront cost of creating this. So what on earth are we complaining about again? Oh my, this is so bad.
Earlier this month, U.S. Ambassador to Canada said the opening remains one of the various irritants between both countries.
I swear, it's like the U.S. government. This is like the U.S. ambassador to Canada and Trump, and it's like their entire motivation is to just trigger everybody, just to trigger us off the face of the earth, just to make us so mad and annoyed. And it's beyond that, because this bridge is just one example of like the madness or the incompetence of the U.S. that's happening right now. Like, what are we doing?
Meanwhile, the Bridge Authority and Canadian government says its opening is tied to testing work. I'm joined now by the Mayor of Windsor, Drew Dilkens. Mayor Dilkens, good to see you again, sir. Thanks for being.
The Mayor of Windsor? So that, like, the Canadian mayor who has jurisdiction over this bridge, I guess? Yeah, oh my God, this... he must be losing his mind.
In here.
Thanks for having me, David.
This testing, is that the Americans doing the testing? Because if it is, that feels like something could get held up in customs for quite a bit of time. What do you know about that?
What?
Well, it looks to me an awful lot like that's an excuse, because when I drive by the Canadian port of entry, and I've been by the U.S. port of entry, the pylons are gone, things look ready to open. And so I think that's just an excuse at this point to keep the bridge closed until bright minds prevail.
What? Hold on. So let me get this straight. The United States is currently holding up our end of the completion of this bridge, which would literally be just our end. Like, we probably built the door to our side, and Canada took care of everything else. And I'm sure we built the like whatever collects the toll or the money or whatever. I'm sure if we get to do that. I'm sure we didn't forget to do that, of course. That was right on time. Collecting the money. It's like how I joke here in the US, like the healthcare system has so many bad things and drawbacks, but the one thing they never screw up here is sending your hospital bill in the mail. Like, so many things are overlooked or messed up or annoying. They never forget that to collect the money. Let me get this straight. They're saying that the U.S. is claiming that we're just carrying on with, like, final testing. Testing what? Like, what? Specifically, I want to know. What are we testing? Like, that the Brit, like, in school, when you build a bridge out of toothpicks and you, like, dangle, like, a weight in the middle? Like, are we testing the integrity of the bridge? Like, what are we... Seriously. Well, it seems like the mayor here knows that it's all just hubbubaloo. It's fairy dust. It's made up. It's not real. We're just saying that. We're doing testing of some type to prolong, the bridge from opening? Seriously? That's... Well, I already said. How, we couldn't be more annoying.
To what end? I mean, how do you see this being used in any kind of a leverage play involving the broader trade negotiations and cross-border relations?
Well, it is right from the playbook of President Trump, where he cherry picks single issues and tries to leverage whatever he can to resolve single issues. So think of it in the context of our CUSMA USMCA trade agreement, where we deal with all of these issues in a very comprehensive way. Well, the president likes to pull off steel. He likes to pull off aluminum and have separate deals on those two particular industries. And he likes to hive those things off and leverage his position. In this particular case, perhaps the leverage request is put U.S. booze back on the shelves in liquor stores in Canada, or some other subset of issues.
What? That's what's happening? We're holding the bridge hostage? Unless certain concessions are made? This is sick. I've already talked in other videos about the decline of the US and the decline of our reputation. who would want to do business with us? I know this bridge goes back to like when Obama was president, I think, where Canada was probably excited to create like a new bridge like this between our countries. I don't think you would ever have done this if you knew Donald Trump was going to be in power. I genuinely believe that. This is so. We're holding the bridge hostage to like force trade concessions? I mean, just besides being like an ethical like disagreement, is this even is this legal? Can you? That's disgusting to do that.
But at the end of the day, listen, no one wants this bridge open more than the mayor and the city of Windsor. I've been watching this and part of this saga for the better part of 25 years since the conversation first began.
Yeah.
But what I'm hearing, it makes me feel uncomfortable to say that we have to give in and capitulate to the United States to see this bridge open, a bridge that you recognized we paid for entirely, that we worked with the state of Michigan as partners to construct what needs to be constructed on the U.S. side of the port of entry and the connections to the I-75 interstate system.
I actually feel so bad for Canada right now with this and this guy in this situation. Unbelievable. It's like dealing with a child, like with the U.S. Like, no, you can't open your bridge until we have. Oh my God. I really wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't happen for like 2.5 years till Donald Trump is out of office. Actually, because it's like he's saying, Canada, unfortunately, you guys put a massive investment into this bridge, which you wouldn't have done probably if you knew Trump would be on the other end of it. But you've invested in this bridge, and now you can't even see, the return on investment because the United States isn't cooperating. But you also don't want to prioritize opening this bridge so highly that you're willing to just like allow the United States to use it as a bargaining chip, because that would, in a way, and I think he agrees, in a way that would be worse. Like, it's painful not being able to open the bridge from Canada's point of view, but it's more painful to be bullied into opening it or allowed to open it under certain concessions, and that's worse. I agree.
So no one wants a bad deal. I'm Canadian at heart. I don't want a bad deal. This bridge has never been opened. And frankly, it was built for two reasons. For redundancy after 9/11, well, it's built. It could open tomorrow if it needs to open. And it was built because we had a forward-looking review of the NAFTA trade agreement and increased demand on trade. Well, we know Donald Trump with his tariffs on Canada are just a tax to U.S. consumers, and trade is down. And so if we have to wait a few more months until the climate is better and we get a good deal for our country, I'm satisfied to do that.
Right.
Fair
so,
enough.
I mean, look.
I think I'm the American in this situation, and I agree. That's, from his point of view, that's probably correct way to do it.
In the short term, there's, I guess, sort of the stranded costs, the sunk costs of having built a revenue-generating asset that you can't use because people would pay tolls to use the bridge.
Sure.
But there's a real opportunity cost in not opening up and getting expanded trade. So you say you'd rather keep it closed and wait for a good deal.
Yeah.
What if a good deal is not coming because it?
Oh my God. I'm actually really curious to hear this. Like, how far is Canada willing to go to like stand your ground on this?
It's hard to see light in the window right now.
Well, listen, I think if we march, if we're just being sensible here, and that's a a big if in any conversation with the other side of the border, but if we're being
Oh my God, you can't make this up. Americans need to understand that this is how the world is talking about us right now. Because I think a lot of Americans really don't understand that. They know we've done a lot of stupid stuff, and Donald Trump has done a lot of dumb stuff, but we don't know it's like, no matter what you think about Donald Trump as an American, like, this is making all Americans look bad. Our whole country. It's hurting all of us. And we need to be aware of it. Like this Canadian mayor is literally like, yeah, I mean, if everything goes reasonable, and we don't expect that these days, like, that's what people that's honestly how you think of us. Which, I mean, I totally understand. I actually would be surprised to hear anything different. I'm just saying Americans in general don't need we need to like all be aware of this for anything to change about our side of things, I think.
The border. But if we're being sensible, we know that the U.S. midterms are coming. We know Michigan is a swing state. We know Michigan, the state proper, is a partner in the construction of the Gordie Howe Bridge. In fact, David, 8,000 Michiganders helped build the U.S. side with U.S. steel and U.S. building products, the port of entry, their side of the bridge, and the Customs Plaza and other buildings. And so Michigan has a vested interest in this as well. And I can't imagine the president would want to march into midterms with this left unresolved. It would make no sense to me.
Oh, it does, but it doesn't matter because Donald Trump is doing a million other things that don't make any sense for midterms or his own, like, because frankly, midterms are probably going to be a disaster for Republicans. But as far as Donald Trump is concerned, this is his second term. He doesn't have to worry about being reelected as president. He can't be elected again. He knows that. He has nothing to lose. He might as well do anything he wants to do his way. And that very much seems to be what he is doing. Because he does not have to worry about who he pisses off or even the American people. So, I actually don't expect anything to happen with this, like, in the near term.
But again, I go back to let sensible minds prevail. We're not seeing a lot of sensibility at this point.
Well, someone who's usually a pretty sensible mind is Flavio Volpe, the president of the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association. And he says, look, the bridge is an issue, but the bigger issue is what's on the trucks going across the bridge and how that is getting tariffed, right? So what do you need to see in negotiations that could give you and your community the confidence to go ahead with this opening? Because we've talked many times, Mayor Dilkens, about the hit from the auto tariffs on your city. What do you need to see here?
Yeah, I think it's been a difficult time for people in communities like mine, where we're the closest urban area to another urban area on the other side of the border, and we share the world's longest undefended border. I mean, we've built up our economies, our family life so closely because of the proximity to the United States. But
I just can't help but think about what a travesty this is. I mean, particularly that the United States is doing this. Like, this bridge should be such a wonderful thing, wonderful opportunity and wonderful thing that we're sharing between our two countries. And it's just turned into this disaster on our end. It's turned into a point of contention. It's a point where it's turned us more divided and away from each other. So just him talking about like sort of the past and the relationship between our countries being so good, and I can't help but like think about that kind of thing. Like what an incredible disappointment this is. As an American, what an incredible disappointment in the US right now I'm having.
No one in Canada wants a bad deal. And we see what's playing out in the United States. You see 3.8% inflation. You see the war in Iran driving up gas prices. I just think of the people who have to get in their F-150s and drive to the grocery store to buy hamburger that's extremely overpriced at this point in time.
This Canadian mayor is more in touch with the pain that everyday American citizens are experiencing than Donald Trump. I think if you went to Trump and was like, what's the price of beef? What's the price of like a gallon of milk? I know he couldn't tell you.
This is all going to be a house of cards that plays out negatively on the president unless he makes other decisions. And unless he resolves some of these trade tensions, especially in auto, David, where we have built this economy together. We have built a marvelous trading relationship. It's an integration unlike any other between any other industry between Canada and the United States and Mexico as well. And so he needs to resolve these friction points, which don't need to exist. And because they do exist, they're actually hurting the American consumer. The price of a vehicle is now $50,000 on average. It's unheard of. There will be people who can't afford to buy vehicles unless they're taking 10-year loans. And so he needs to resolve this. He needs to do this before the midterms. Otherwise, he's going to be in a world of hurt in states like Michigan, which was a swing state for him in the last election.
I'm really impressed by this Windsor mayor. I didn't catch his name. I'm really impressed by. He's like way more in touch with like. He should be advising Trump. Like, I mean, I think in a roundabout, like in a weird way, we're sort of hoping Trump doesn't take this advice, because although it would be good for Canadians and good for Americans, it would possibly increase Trump's popularity and longevity. And so, in a weird way, if Trump doesn't take all this good advice, it might be for the best, because then, you know, his power will be diminished in the midterms, and people will start voting in that direction, and the balance of things might get a little better. And so, in a weird way, like, Trump should take this advice, but if he doesn't, maybe it's for the best, or because we're already all feeling the pain. So it's like, might as well be for something. If nothing else, to open people's eyes, particularly here in the U.S., to open people's eyes. Like, pain is the only way people are going to acknowledge what's going on, that the United States is declining, we're making horrible decisions, and this bridge is just such a perfect encapsulation of that. Oh my God. Yeah, like I said, I hadn't heard anything about this bridge in a while. I kind of thought it was like old news, and that it was just like Trump had a meltdown about it and it was done. I didn't know, like, the US is just, we're completely thrown a wrench in this whole thing. We're stalling it on purpose. We're trying to hurt Canada on purpose. You heard the Windsor mayor, it's hurting Americans. It's so bad. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced. Maybe I'm getting more and more pessimistic as time goes on. I am not convinced anything is really going to happen to change this, because nothing has happened. And if anything, things have just gotten worse. So maybe it really, I keep talking about the 2-3 years till Trump is out of office. Then we'll see, but then we're going to find out who the next president's going to be. And I don't know, it's scary times. Certainly if you're an American, and because everyone else is moving away from us. And this is one more reason why I can't really blame you, at least for now. So it's not good. I didn't know the U.S. was doing this. It's horrible. I think a lot of Americans have no idea, like, that we're doing stuff like this. It's terrible. So for that reason, I'm glad to have taken a look at this and be aware. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like, or leave a comment with your thoughts on this crazy international Canada-US bridge situation going on, the standoff. It's crazy. Hearing your thoughts, that'd be cool. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canadian things that I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.